Alright, I'm not gonna lie, I just woke up. They dropped I think this is the Season 5 PTR, I think. I'm not too sure, I think it is, yeah, Season of the Guardian. So, I think the PTR is like, it's the 13th for me right now, but I believe it's the 12th. So I think this PTR comes out today. I'll definitely be checking this out on stream. I think this includes controller, mounts, and outpost rush. I've already read a little bit, it's pretty exciting stuff. 8 new artifacts, and let me tell you, this is why I started recording. Some of these artifacts are fucking insane. I've already got some ideas floating for builds, but for us Dix players, we might have a contender for a Tune Leather Pants, and that is the Nature's Wraith. This kind of sounds insane, and do you want to know why? Using our harnessing, using our rune glass, we have that permanent empower, so it can't expire. On top of that, it's just a 20% damage bonus. Are you fucking kidding me? This actually might be our new armor artifact for Dix players, guys. We might be replacing fucking Attuning the Pants with this bad boy. Holy fuck, that is insane. There's another one in here that looked also pretty insane. The spear's going to be cracked. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy that one. You can get some nasty dot builds going with that one, probably. Especially bow players. I think bow spear players will be having a good time with this one. We're not in a heavy loadout, gain 20% more health. This one's interesting. It's heavy, though, so this is really only going to work for you medium folks. I think a lot of bruisers might start running this. I think this will be quite a good bruiser piece. There would have to be some tests done on that, see if it's actually better than featherweight. But I mean, 20% more health is pretty cracked. It's decent amounts. Creed boots, you might see some people running full-on glass cannon builds trying to replicate a one-shot build. I don't know how well that's going to work, but from the looks of it, you might be able to get some one-shot builds going, but it is only 15%, and it's within 20 seconds, so again, this is a very niche artifact. I would actually like to see this be changed a little bit. I reckon this should maybe be 10% more damage, 10 seconds, but pretty nice fucking artifacts, I guess, if it fits your niche, fits your build. You know, 500 dex fucking glass cannon bow, you could pull something off with that, you know. The amulet, now, this is fucking insane. This is quite literally death-defying on the amulet. I don't know how I feel about this. I think this is kind of going to be game-breaking. I genuinely think most people are going to start running this. This is probably going to be the new Ank. This is basically going to be the new, yeah, you got to run this if you're going to play PvP. You know, 2 seconds, 180-second cooldown. You know, decent cooldown. I think this is just an all-round a fantastic piece of jewelry that I think is going to be quite game-changing for PvP especially, and I don't know how I feel about it. If I'm a Dex player, I'm looking for kills, and if most of the fuckers I'm shooting down have this, then kind of nullifies my class a little bit, so it is going to be a pretty nutty amulet. I will say that for sure. Looks like they've got some other changes in here, new season pass. They have that 10-man raid as well, which looks to be based off the solo ice trial that we currently have. Upgraded combat and animation system. This will be interesting. I won't really get to get a good feel for this in the PTR because I'll be on high ping. So this is something I'll have to look forward to on live to actually get a proper one-to-one test on myself. This is definitely going to be interesting, especially for wars and OPR. I really hope they killed it. I do have a feeling they've done a good job. I don't have a reason to believe they would make it worse. So I genuinely do believe this is going to be fantastic for the game, and I really can't wait. Again, the big one, controller support, aim assist, controller only, AI only. So the thing about this is, I don't mind. I actually don't think it's going to affect the range at all due to how slow the projectile is with range weapons. This is really only going to actually affect melee players, and what you might start seeing is melee players switching to controller because that would also give them analog movement. Now, if you don't know what analog movement is, it is the ability to go in all directions in a 360. On keyboard and mouse, you can actually only go in 3 or 8 directions, sorry. You know, you've got W, A, S, and D, and then you've got diagonal. So W, D, D, S, S, A, A, W, right? But you can sort of pseudo it in, especially a lot of games do pseudo that, and they add smoothing. But it is not true analog movements. Controller, there are keyboards with true analog movements, such as the Wooting. We're not really talking about peripherals here, but so you might actually start seeing melee players switch to controller because that will give them a greater sense of movement, and they'll also get that aim assist on their melee weapons. I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. You're still going to be able to compete as a keyboard and mouse melee player. You know, that's completely fine. So aim assist, this is controller only, AI only. So I don't know why it has both. Controller only means it will work in PvP, by the way. If you want to play range on controller, I'm sorry, it's not going to work that well. You know, the projectiles are so slow, the rate of fire so slow. You're going to have a better time on keyboard and mouse. This is I'm confidently saying this, you're going to have a better time playing ranged on keyboard and mouse. Now, target friction, slower reticle speed on a rollover of a valid target. So this is sort of like slowdown, aim rotation, whatever you call it in COD. Again, this isn't going to affect ranged at all. This is actually going to be very nice for you melee players. And again, adds to my point of you're going to see melee players start switching to it. Now, the target lock, this is AI only. We know about this. This is quite literally a Dark Souls-like lock-on system. Yeah, it works on keyboard and mouse. Wait, no. Wait, that's tab target. That's actually tab target. Okay, they're bullshitting with this. Okay, so I was like, you know, it works on controller. It makes sense. It's a Souls-like game. It works on a mouse and keyboard. This is quite literally tab target, guys. I'm just going to put that out there. Now, it's only in PvE, don't get me wrong, it's AI only, PvE only. But this is quite literally tab target. What? Okay. On keyboard and mouse, I don't know how I feel about that. Again, it's only PvE. I don't really PvE, I couldn't really give a shit. But interesting. That's interesting. Freeform movement allows running in all directions, including towards the camera. Holding block or activating the target lock will revert to normal strafe navigation. That's good change. I love games that do that. Games where you can freely navigate apart, like aside from the camera, actually do feel pretty good. But that's pretty nice for melee players, and melee players will like that a lot. Use camera direction for melee attacks. If this is off, it allows melee attacks and blocking direction. So again, that would be if you're doing freeform camera or free camera, you could swing melee attacks in that direction. I actually don't think melee will run that at all. That would be pretty bad. You would want that off. You would absolutely want that off. Imagine you're turning around and you have to manually reset to center to actually swing on your crosshair. Your crosshair would be all over the place unless they have a dynamic crosshair. Main story request fully updated. We know about this. Improved feature accessibility. That's great. Radial wheel for quick access. Yeah, so we already know the UI is getting an overhaul for controller. That's kind of just is what it is. Yeah, mounts and outpost rush. This is exciting. We had this back on the expansion PTR and it felt fucking fantastic. It felt really fucking good. It was a lot more fun. And again, it finally adds at least a little bit of content to the fucking PTR, you know what I'm saying? I mean to the outpost rush, sorry. Can't copy and paste events, and I guess we won't get full patch notes of balance changes. So other than that, there's a decent amount of quality of life stuff here. Emphasis on quality of life. This is a quality of life season. Again, there's next to no content. We've got a 10-man trial. That's great. You know, quality of life, quality of life, quality of life. Somewhat content. This is probably the most content in the season, the artifacts. They'll probably all come from the 10-man trial as well, so that is effectively one piece of content. So quality of life, 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 quality of life. Copy and paste the bit. But the controller stuff, pretty important. The animation and combat rework, amazing. And of course the new artifacts are pretty interesting. So definitely gonna be checking this out on PTR and stream. I don't know when it goes live. I'll have a look. I'll have an announcement out. I want to go live with it. Just want to quickly get this video out. It is 30 past the update going live. We've got to be on this. And I'll quickly chop this up, edit it. I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be covering the featherweight Frigid Dawn deck setups. Peace.